Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is something I was happy to find happening. There's a new Comanche game out. It's actually in early access at the moment, so you can go on Steam and actually get it and start playing it, and it's like 15 bucks. It's by a developer called Nuclear, Nukklear, and it's from THQ Nordic. Now, granted, it does really look more like a game than a simulation, I'm not going to lie. But there's just a place in our hearts for Comanche, you know what I mean? If you've had anything to do with flight simulations in the 90s. I don't think there's a single person who've played those flight sims in the 90s that did not play Comanche. And, granted, the other helicopter sims like Longbow 2 and whatnot were more realistic. Comanche was just down and dirty, awesome fun, just mindless blowing up of things. But it did have a mission structure. Those missions were fun. They were designed just like any other combat flight simulation. Hey, go here, go to this waypoint, blow this thing up, don't get killed, and random stuff might pop up on the way. They were great, fun, scripted missions. There's no denying that. It was designed as much like a simulation as any other of the time. It was just more arcadey, though. Flight model was very questionable, but the Novalogic guys at the time, that was their bread and butter, man. They created the voxel environment, for all their games and simulations, and it worked very well for them. But again, I think there's a special place in most of our hearts for the original Comanche series. And it might be fun to try this one out. It is on Steam right now, and like I said, it is 15 bucks, 25% off while it's in early access. And looking at the page, it says something about there is HOTAS and flight stick support in alpha, which is most important to me. Unlike the MechWarrior game that came out, that was just a freaking abortion when it came to supporting HOTAS gear and flight sticks. But it looks really fun, man. I'm not going to say it's going to be, as nice as the original Comanche, but, the graphics look freaking amazing. And looks like it could be fun. Give it a shot if that's something you're looking for. In other news, as I expected, Eagle Dynamics popped up with the news bit of their own. While there is no open beta update this week, they did put out some news. There's a virtual air show on the 14th of March, which is today. You can find the link here. The F-15C is still free to fly, and so is the Su-27 in conjunction with the F-15 month of the Fighter Pilot podcast. So that's available again this weekend. And the one thing that Eagle Dynamics did report is guns. They're working to improve the, we've detected an excessive amount of round dispersion due to improper gun installation characteristics, which impacted dispersion values in most of our World War II aircraft. So the P-51D and the upcoming P-47 are receiving some extra TLC, they say. They will be using a combat mix of M8 API and M20 API T-belts. This will better match historical data and our upcoming visual effects upgrade. The Spitfire will also benefit from improved ballistics for more accurate match to historical documents such as type designation and firing labels. The GAU-8 isn't getting left out either. We've updated our information from General Electric, which diminishes round dispersion by approximately 1.5 times. We know that many in the community have been complaining about this for some time, and with this latest data-backed correction, the Hog will deliver even more tank-busting fun to our faithful users. While no dispersion issues were found with the M61, we will be updating the PGU-type shells with improved ballistics. This should affect any aircraft using these type of shells, including the F-16C. Last but not least, the F-86 is currently under review. So far, we have found possible issues with barrel heating and cooling, and we will continue to make changes as needed. We make sure you receive the most accurate and up-to-date information regarding our work in progress. As always, yours sincerely, Eagle Dynamics. That's fantastic news, guys. They are continually trying to keep things as accurate as possible. That's awesome. But that is the update for the week from the guys at Eagle Dynamics. So I was poking around the internet, and I've heard of these guys before, but I never really listened to them. I'm more into the Fighter Pilot podcast than anything, and they created their own simulation podcast too, the Fighter Pilot podcast guys. I think it's called Combat Sim. But the Alert 5 podcast has been around for a while now, and I just noticed episode 12 is up, and it's pretty good stuff, man. I've actually seen this one guy on Twitch, Helgato. I've seen him on there before doing some stuff in DCS. And
Chris, did you play any Sims before?
Man, Longbow 2.
Longbow 2.
Longbow 2, like way back in the day.
I don't think I was born when that came out.
Yeah, it might have been, like,
So I'm going to include a link to this so you guys can check it out. And they're talking about helicopters in this episode. And it probably has to do with the fact that DCS just had the huge helicopter sale. I haven't listened to the entire episode yet, but it's about an hour long, 50 minutes. I've listened to other ones before, and it's pretty cool. So give it a shot, guys, if you're looking for something different to listen to while you're, driving to and from work or whatever. I listen to the Fighter Pilot podcast when I'm at the gym sometimes even. In other Steam news, I found out about a new flight sim that's in development, and it's called Deadstick. It's the Bush Flight Simulator, and I'll include a link to this page at the bottom of the show notes here, but it looks pretty cool. It's like they're creating a bush pilot flight simulator, and it looks to be like, what did they say about 2.3 billion trees generated? Yeah, as it stands, there are currently 2.3 billion trees which are generated and exist within our world. That's crazy. And here's some of the images from it, and it looks super impressive. So I'm looking forward to see where this goes, and I'm going to track the development of this and see how it turns out. And I'm going to give a shout out to these guys and see if I can get a hold of them and see what they can tell me about this upcoming product, because it looks very promising. But yeah, it's a bush pilot simulator. It looks pretty damn cool. Not sure about how realistic the flight model is going to be and all that, but if you're looking for something different, it's a good time to light flight sims too. I think that's the cool thing. Things are starting to come back, especially with indie developers and stuff. There's an opportunity there, and there's a possibility that we can actually have more products again because of the indie development scene. So I'm hoping more. Give flight sims a chance, and we'll see where that goes. Baltic Dragon is looking for a volunteer to play the role of Shag, which is Moonshadow's CO, preferably somebody in the 30s, early 40s. It's a skipper after all. If interested, please PM me, recording the following line. Sword 23, I want you and 24 to deal with this. ID the sinker and report back to strike. 21 and 22 will continue and freelance north of Mother. We will see you back at the ship. Pretty cool. There's my demo at least, right? Oh, and speaking of the other podcast I was talking about, it's called Air Combat Sim, not Combat Sim. And Baltic Dragon is one of the hosts of this show. And it's really cool stuff. I've listened to I think the first 2 episodes. The first one they had Jello on there talking about the real military simulators and their role in the overall scheme of things. And it's definitely a good listen. Give it a shot, guys. Back in the world of IL-2 Stormovik, the progress on many parts of the Battle of Normandy project is becoming more visible with each passing day. Let's see, the list of squadrons that will be recreated in the Battle of Normandy career mode and its main scenario are prepared as well. Visual models of 3 aircraft and the flight model of the first one are in the works. So the P-47D, as we saw about a week ago when they showed some images of it, is definitely the first aircraft they're working on. And then today we could show you the current state of the visual model of the second aircraft in development, the C-47A transport plane. It will be controlled by AI. The famous World War II legend, it was best known Allied transport plane built under license in many countries. Its civilian versions are still in service now in the early 21st century. This workhorse played a key role in the airborne operations in the Battle of Normandy, and they posted a bunch of cool screenshots of it. Not bad. In addition, they've also did something pretty cool. So, with all the pandemic chaos going on in the world right now, with the virus and people having to stay home and whatnot, these guys had a brilliant idea to come up with a cabin fever promo code. So while the IL-2 products and the Great Battles stuff isn't on sale per se at the moment, they did go online and they have what's called promo codes. So if you log into your IL-2 or whatever Great Battles account and you dig around, you'll find that there's I believe there's a tab or whatever in there that holds promo codes. So if you have a promo code, that's where you're going to find it. Well, I guess they've added these promo codes to everybody's account. So it says if you happen to be stuck indoors for a while, we've given everyone a unique single-use discount code for many of our products. Early access and pre-order products are not included. 50% off Battle of Baden Point and Flying Circus Volume 1. 75% off all other released content. These codes are good for 30 days. So, if you don't have an IL-2 Great Battles account, make one. And maybe those promo codes will be... they didn't make it clear to say that if you're making a new one, if that's going to be in there. But I would think you would. But give it a shot. IL-2 is fantastic, and I have been playing the shit out of it still and absolutely loving it. And it's a good time to like flight sims again, guys. It really is. Fun stuff. So that's it for the news at the moment. But I was really pleasantly surprised to find so many things to talk about just 2 days after the last news bit. Very cool stuff indeed. Hope everybody stays safe out there. You know, wash your hands, get some sanitizer, and have some fun flying. It's a great time to fly if you're stuck at home, guys. It really is. But as always, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to hit that like button. And until next time.